Hey guys, so that progress video I uploaded almost got 50,000 views, and the top 10 memorable moments is already well on its way to almost 140,000 views. That's absolutely insane, and I didn't think the videos would receive that sort of support after being gone for so long, so thank you guys for that. I'm very grateful. Today's video comes from Jersky287's suggestion, and they wanted to see some useful NPCs, so I figured we'd break it down into skilling first, and maybe talk about free-to-play useful NPCs and Iron Man NPCs at a later date, if you guys would want that. Keep the suggestions coming. The next progress video will be out soon with another top 10, most likely being the top 10 achievement diary rewards for old school RuneScape at the same time in a few days to a week. And that's all I got to say. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Number 10, Bob the Axe Dealer in Lumbridge. His store's name is Bob's Brilliant Axes, and the reason why Bob is on the list is because he can repair your barrow armor pieces. He does sell axes too, and he used to be able to repair broken axes back in the day when that specific random event still existed. However, the main use that players get out of him today is the repairing of their barrows, armor, and weapons, for a price depending on how badly damaged your gear is. The better alternative to Bob fixing your barrows would be a workbench inside of your own player-owned house because of how much cheaper it is depending on the player's smithing level, but smithing isn't everybody's cup of tea, so most people just use Bob, and have for years. Number 9, Files located in Remington. Files is an NPC that is located inside the Remington General Store, and he will unnote your items for 5 coins per item. This is useful for when you're joining prayer on a gilded altar by yourself in your own house due to his proximity to the Remington House portal, and he is also quite useful for training construction too. In the content poll number 29 that ended on January 19, 2015, 4 different NPCs were added to Remington, Paul Nivnich, the Bandit Camp, and Jim and Nua's Jungle Store on Karamja that do the same thing that Files does in Remington. These NPCs were intended for Ultimate Iron Man users primarily that can never bank, but any ordinary player can use Files or the other NPCs if they choose to. Number 8, Otto Godblessed. Located at Otto's Grotto north of Baxtorian Falls, he's a barbarian warrior interested in the cultural history of his people and will offer eligible players barbarian training and will give them a book about barbarian skills. He can also convert a Zamorakian spear into a Zamorakian hosta too for 300k, making it to where you're able to wield a shield with the spear that was originally a one-handed weapon, but only if you complete the Taibo Wanai Trio quest, and he also teaches players barbarian fishing if their fishing levels are 48 and over, as well as having a strength level of 15 and over too. The type of fishing he teaches you how to do is considered by many to be the fastest XP per hour in the fishing skill if you want purely XP alone. He can also teach you how to catch other fish with just your bare hands, and can teach you how to light fires without even using a tinderbox. Number 7, Bob Barter. Bob Barter is one of the market price guides located in the southwest corner of the Grand Exchange. If right-clicked, he can show you the current market prices of various herbs and potions. Bob appears to be poor in the clothing he wears, however he is actually a wealthy merchant from East Ardoin. Apparently within lore, by pretending to be poor, he is able to more easily manipulate the businesses and individuals he trades and deals with. His main use that players get out of him is his ability to decant your potions, noted or unnoted, meaning that he will take all of your 3, 2, and 1 dose potions in your inventory and will put all of them at 4 dose, leaving behind empty vials for you as well, or potions that he couldn't decant. It's very useful when you're trying to organize your potions for efficiency when it comes to bossing and combat in general, or if you want to make some money. Number 6, Tool Leprechauns. These guys can be found at any farming patch around Gielinor, and they provide 2 basic functions: storing farming tools and exchanging harvested items into banknotes. All Tool Leprechauns carry various tools too, and you can receive any of them from any leprechaun. They carry spades, rakes, seed dibblers, watering cans, secateurs, enchanted secateurs, gardening trowels, 255 empty bucket slots, as well as 255 slots of buckets of compost and super compost. The only thing he won't note for you is cabbages when you're around Falador farming patches. For some reason, he will complain about cabbages and tell you to take them away from him for some odd reason. Number 5, the Mage of Zamorak. He stands at the Southern Wilderness mining site and at the altar of Zamorak in Varrock. He sells runes and teleports players into the Abyss once the Abyss mini-quest he offers has been completed. He used to sell soul and astral runes, but now only sells air, water, earth, fire, mind, body, chaos, death, and blood runes. Before completion of the Abyss mini-quest, body runes are available to players to buy. However, once completed, there is an increase of stock of body runes. It can be difficult to trade with him because he has has so many skeletons standing near him, but he is one of the cheapest sources of runes in RuneScape for Iron Men. Many runecrafters use the Mage of Zamorak as a shortcut to their preferred runecrafting altars, although this can be risky because he does reside in the wilderness after all. Teleporting to the Abyss will also skull you and drain your prayer points to 0. Because of this, PKers like to kill runecrafters for their glory amulets by teleblocking them and then freezing them if their level difference isn't too high, since he is in low-level wilderness. Also, he will fix your rune pouches free of charge, and you can reclaim your small pouch from the Mage of Zamorak anytime you want, if you do happen to lose it. Number 4. Jos Ik. Jos Ik is the keeper of the lighthouse west of Releka, and he also runs the store on the first floor of the lighthouse, but players must complete the Horror from the Deep quest to access it. After you finish the quest, he will give you an empty god book of your choice, but it must be one of the main gods, being Zamorak, Saradomin, or Guthix. After you fill one up with its missing pages, you will have access to the Ancient, Bandos, and Armadillo books as well that will provide specific bonuses to the types of combat that they're associated with, and they will also still provide a prayer bonus too when you completely fill them with their pages. Number 3. Demon Butlers. All butlers are useful, but for this specific countdown number, I'm going to be talking about the demon one. The Demon Butler, also known as Alathazdrar, requires a construction level of 50 in order to be hired. To hire him, players must pay 10,000 coins and have 2 bedrooms with beds in their houses. The Demon Butler can serve curry to players and their guests, take items to and from the bank, and take logs to the sawmill in exchange for planks much faster than any other servant can. He welcomes guests and can even hold up to 26 items for you. The only downside to having a butler is that you do have to pay them. After he makes 8 trips to the bank, you will have to pay him a fee of 10,000 coins, or he will seek work elsewhere. He is mostly used when players train construction by either making oak larders or mahogany tables. Number 2. Grace. Grace is an NPC that resides in the Rogue's Den. She owns a store called Grace's Graceful Clothing and exchanges marks of grace earned by participating in rooftop agility courses for parts of the Graceful Clothing set, which reduces weight to negative 25 kilograms when wearing all of the pieces. If you don't have the Graceful Cape or boots, you can use the spottier cape and boots of lightness as a substitute, but it is worth it to get the full outfit of Graceful. Grace also sells what is called Amulets packs, which contain 100 Amulets crystals. When you use the Amulets crystals on a super energy potion, you will then make a stamina potion. Also, she owns a dog named Mark. Number 1. Skill Cape Masters. Now, I'm not including Slayer Masters just because I feel like they're a bit too obvious, and normally I wouldn't include a whole bunch of NPCs together for number 1 in a countdown, but since Skill Cape perks were added to the Capes of Accomplishments, it would be wrong not to. Each skill cape has a specific perk now, and they can help out greatly when it comes to skilling. I also made a top 10 old school RuneScape skill cape perks video if any of you are interested in checking that out, and I had the help of Autumn Elegy, aka Aubrey, an amazing skiller of RuneScape, for most of the video. Here in this chart, you can see all of the individual perks of the skill capes, and that's why I've included the skill cape masters for number 1 in the countdown, because obviously you wouldn't be able to get the capes at all without them. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you know what I should count down next, post it in the comment section and I will try to make it happen. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching once again, and I will talk to you guys later.